Beautiful day, Patriots. How are you? My name is Gregory Hamilton, and I talk to Q, and Q talks back. Correct? It is correct. It actually is correct, but that's we can talk about that later. One of the things that Q says is that 99% would be put in a hospital. If people knew the truth, 99% would be put in the hospital, right? And people in the Q community want to believe that they're so smart and they know everything. And they want to support the plan. And they want to, okay? And the Q community will even quote 99% in the hospital. And that means that they're the 1% that could handle the truth. I personally could not handle the truth. I know that. I would go crazy. The world is crazy enough without even having to scratch under the surface. Okay? Now, 99% would be put in the hospital. And what does that mean? What kind of a hospital are they talking about? Is it, ICU? Or is it just scheduled surgery? Or is it emergency bone breaking? Is it disease and infection hospitals? What kind of hospitals is Q talking about? I'm going to take a guess and say that he's talking about, he, she, it, are talking about mental hospitals. I'm thinking that if people knew the truth, that they would mentally go insane. Does that not make sense to you? This is a quote straight out of Q. 99% would go in the hospital. My name's Gregory Hamilton. I talk to Q, and Q talks back. If I had done a crime in the past, I would try to have everybody focus on the future and the present. I'm just saying that's what I would do. If I had done a crime in my past, I would try to get people to focus on other things in the current events now and not look into my past. I would also get everybody to fight about supporting me right now in the present and not have anything to do with looking in my past. So let's go do some of these type of things. Let's go look at our past. America is a brand new country, less than 250 years old. I'm going to take a wild guess that if America started in 1776, just over 200 years ago, that we now have more people in America than we did back then. Is this a logical assumption? We can just use as an example right now, California did not exist, the state, in the United States when America became a country, 1776, okay? But yet, California is the most populated state in America, to prove or to show you my point. Right? We have more people. The Oregon Wagon Trail. Before the Oregon Wagon Trail got to Oregon, there wasn't many people here, as the story goes. But since then, in the last 150 years, there's more people in Oregon than ever before. Thus, my point being, there are more people in America now than there were just a few short 100 years ago. Isn't that correct? So let's go ahead and look and deep dive. I'm picking North Dakota right now, and because it's a small, unpopulated state, not small in size, but just with people. Always has been, and it is still today, a very low populated state. Correct? And now we're talking about going back to crazy houses. If 99% would be put into a hospital, those places are called insane asylums. Correct? This is where they house people that are crazy. Like people that know the truth or are just completely wacko would go into an insane asylum. That's what Q said, right? If you know the truth, you go into an insane asylum. It didn't say how. It just said it would. Am I misquoting that? Am I misquoting that? So let's go ahead. As I repeat, we're picking North Dakota. Let's go look at some things. I pushed in my Googler, North Dakota first insane asylum pictures. And the first one that comes up is a video of an Indian insane asylum. That's a nice looking bed. That's a real nice looking bed. In North Dakota hospital, state hospital. This is taxpayer fund, right? Anything state or federal is taxpayer dollars. Jamestown State Hospital, asylum projects. How many buildings did they need back then in North Dakota? Look at the precision of these things. Look how large they are. Look at these buildings. I know it's fuzzy there for you. You can do this on your own. Asylums, huh? Look how big these places are. This is North Dakota. This is North Dakota. The nation's only asylum for Indians was in South Dakota. So there were so many Indians that were insane that they built on taxpayer dollars an asylum for the Indians. Where did all the Indians go? They went on a trail of tears. Look at this big old. Hey, let me just get back into. We're just. And I want to ask you if Americans were putting Indians in asylums, did we understand their language at that time so well that we could sit there and say you're psychologically crazy? Is that what happened? We had to learn their language first to sit there and say, wait a minute, that doesn't make sense. At Jamestown State Hospital, Salem, big old brick, and look at that smokestack. Smokestacks that size are to get rid of large quantities of something. North Dakota Insane Asylum, State Hospital. The big huge dome. If I told you that was Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, where they signed the Declaration of Independence, you would believe me. Look at the size of these incredibly large buildings out on the plains. We see nothing in the background. North Dakota State Hospitals. Why do you think they needed these? Even nowadays, there's a modern looking one. We do have people, we have a lot of people, we have mental problems in America. No one's going to doubt this. Here we go. State Institute for Feeble Minds in Griffin, North Dakota. That's a castle. That's a hotel. That's a luxury resort. And all these places have an extremely large cemeteries of unmarked people. Why are they building such lavish, incredibly gorgeous buildings in a time in our history that we're fighting cowboys and Indians and having state taxpayer money when there's nobody in North Dakota? Again, these are state-run, not federal-run. The people in North Dakota were taxed, and they built these buildings to enslave and fix people that were crazy. It was like, I mean, if that was not an epidemic and a pandemic, I don't know what is. One of the largest buildings in North Dakota in our past ever built in North Dakota is an insane asylum that looks like castles and cathedrals from other parts of the world. Does this make sense to you guys? 99% would be put in the hospital if they knew the truth. And people are fighting for a system that put If people